I'm Aurora Hardy, and for the past 6 months I've been working with 5 other youth from the Kwanlin community to develop a lateral violence workshop. We've been working for the past 6 months to develop it, and it includes a lot of examples from our community specifically, and it's really geared towards our youth.
My name is Tegan Valavand, Kwanlin First Nations Youth. What we really wanted to address during our workshops was to get people thinking. They might not be able to leave the workshop and have a full understanding of lateral violence and how to stop it, but they would at least get them thinking on the topic. And so maybe the next time they were placed into a situation of lateral violence, they would be able to recognize it, and then it might lead them to making other choices in that situation or scenario.
I'm Kudwa, and I'm a part of the lateral violence group that has been put together by Kwanlin. Being with the group is actually pretty fun. When we started, it wasn't very enthusiastic at first, but now we can talk about almost anything.
Kwanlin is actually the First Nation that actually started this initiative. We recognize that lateral violence is a huge issue amongst First Nation people. We wanted to try and get across that we need to treat each other with respect. We need to go back to values that we had a long, long time ago.
My name is Thomas Shepard, and I was involved in designing, creating, and putting the project together. The main purpose of the program was to recruit a group of youth in the community to design and deliver their own workshop to help other youth in the community understand and prevent lateral violence. The project basically had 3 major phases. First was recruiting the youth, forming the group and bringing them together. From there, we did a series of sessions in Whitehorse, but up at the Jackson Lake Healing Camp, to both share information with the youth about what lateral violence was and let them begin to develop their own workshop. A big part of the project was to use media to allow youth to interview themselves and interview others about the topic of lateral violence. Each of the youth were given an iPad, and we used other tools and technology so that we can share it with other First Nations and non-First Nations about how we did the project. Once the workshop was developed, we did several dress rehearsals and actually scripted the workshop and got the youth working through it, including the blanket exercise, which was very well received. And then the youth delivered 3 different workshops, 2 in Whitehorse and 1 at the Our Voices Youth Conference at Kathleen Lake. And they delivered the workshop to a primarily youth audience.
All of our workshops were really unique in their own ways. Some of our workshops, they were with youth our own age, and then there was also one where some of the youth were a lot younger than we were. So we definitely learned different ways worked better for different age groups. The older youth that were closer to our age, we were able to do more serious stuff, and able to get really into the core of it all with lateral violence. And then for the younger youth, we ended up doing a lot more like icebreakers, and we were constantly having to keep moving, which wasn't a bad thing. That was actually really fun and enjoyable.
What was fundamentally important in this initiative was that youth would be coming together to struggle through and understand the issues and speak to their fellow youth in the community about violence, about how to deal with it, about understand it, and the historical context of lateral violence, and what they can do as bystanders to step in a safe way to prevent violence from taking place.
Everyone knows what it is. It's just hard to put a name on it. And this workshop has helped me and our other participants to break it down. You know, you learn from people and you learn from experiences. At first, I didn't think I would be this into the project, but now that I've worked with it for so long and met all these people and just stuck to it, I have become passionate about it, and it's made me step outside my comfort zone, and I really feel like I'm helping the community.
I'm really glad that our youth are doing this, because I think, you know, one of the best teaching tools is youth teaching youth.
I think the youth that we did the workshops for really appreciated having youth their own age. A lot of the times when adults try to facilitate these things, they can't facilitate it on the same level that youth can facilitate something, or there's not that connection or understanding a lot of the time, because adults are very experienced, but they're not necessarily experiencing like the same things that youth are going through. I think it was really important that we had us there, like us as youth, because we recognize the same struggles that other youth are going through, and we are able to connect with them because of that. So I think it's very important that you get youth to help youth.
Every single young person who participated in the project eventually found their place in it. They all, with time, with a lot of time and a lot of support and group building, found a role and found a skill and a talent that they could convey through the workshops. Some of those youth have been invited to go to different communities and go to different events, and they're going off on their own, and they're out there speaking about lateral violence and taking it on their own.
I'm Doris McLean. I'm from the Yukon First Nation. I'm very happy to be here today and attend some of this program on lateral violence. What the youth are doing here today is great. It's really something that we need in the communities. When we take a look at our traditions, one of the greatest teachings amongst our people was respect. Respect for the animals, respect for yourself, respect to others, and to honor one another. And if you honor all people, you honor yourself also.
I feel like lateral violence is something that needs to be taken out of this community, but it's really hard to do something like that sometimes. As long as I can try, I'll keep trying. There was this one story that Kasha told about, and he was talking about a parrot trying to put out a forest fire was just by himself, and this God came down and he asked, "Why are you doing this? You should just leave because you're just gonna die." And he said, "As long as I'm alive, I can keep trying." So that's what I want to do. I'll keep trying to help the community.
you.